Anna freezes, her body trembling in fear. "Uncle, please stop," she cries out, tears streaming down her face. It hurts so much." Beatrice's life after her husband's death is a constant battle. The house feels emptier, colder, with only her and Anna trying to fill the silence. Beatrice works long hours, hoping that her efforts will keep things afloat. But the exhaustion is overwhelming, and there's no time for grief. Her husband is gone, and the weight of responsibility has settled squarely on her shoulders. She tries her best to be both mother and father to Anna, but deep down, she feels like she's failing, especially when she sees the sadness in her daughter's eyes. Desperate for help, Beatrice invites Uncle Sam to move in. She believes he'll be the support she so desperately needs. After all, he's family, and surely he would want to help his niece and his late brother's widow. At first, Uncle Sam seems like a godsend. He offers to take care of Anna while Beatrice works. He's kind, patient, and gives the impression of being the father figure Anna needs. Beatrice breathes a sigh of relief, unaware that the very man she trusted is about to turn her life and Anna's into a nightmare. Slowly, Anna starts to feel uncomfortable around Uncle Sam. At first, it's subtle, uneasy feeling when he touches her shoulder or smiles at her in a way that doesn't feel right. She brushes it off, not fully understanding why she feels so uneasy. But as time goes on, his behavior becomes more disturbing. He tells Anna she's special and she can't understand why. He makes promises that she doesn't want, making her feel confused and dirty. Her attempts to express discomfort are met with sharp, quiet threats. "If you tell anyone, your mom will get hurt." So she stays silent, believing she has no choice. Anna's cries go unnoticed. She wants to scream, to tell someone, but the fear of what might happen to her mother holds her back. The once bright girl who laughed and played now sits in silence, her small hands shaking, her eyes void of the innocence they once held. Beatrice, caught up in her own struggles, fails to see the shift in her daughter's behavior. She remains unaware, trusting Uncle Sam, believing that her daughter is safe. Anna, however, is not. She's alone in her fear, holding her pain close to her chest, unable to escape. The weight of the secret presses down on Anna, suffocating her. She wonders if anyone will ever understand her pain. She wants to ask her mother for help, but she's terrified of what might happen if she does. Why is Uncle Sam doing this to her? Why does it hurt so much? Her innocence is slipping away, and all she wants is for someone to stop him. But for now, all she can do is endure, clinging to the faint hope that someone, someday, will notice the quiet pain she's hiding. As days turn into weeks, Anna becomes a shadow of the girl she once was. Her vibrant energy is gone, replaced by a deep, haunting silence. At school, she no longer participates in the lively conversations or runs with the other children during recess. Her face is always downcast, her small hands fidgeting with the hem of her uniform. Her classmates notice the change, but they don't know what to make of it. Anna's eyes, once full of light, are now dark and full of fear. She no longer laughs, no longer speaks unless spoken to, and the once happy girl is now a ghost in the classroom. Every night, Anna dreads going home. The thought of facing Uncle Sam fills her with dread. She lies awake, her heart pounding in her chest, wondering how she can avoid him. When Beatrice tucks her in, she smiles weakly, but inside her stomach churns. She wants to tell her mother what's happening, but she's too scared. Every night, she is left alone with her fear. The abuse has twisted Anna's world, leaving her confused, ashamed, and afraid to speak. But when the lights go out and silence fills the house, she knows what's coming. Uncle Sam enters her room, his footsteps heavy on the floor. "I hope you didn't tell anyone," he whispers, as his hands begin to touch her. Anna freezes, her body trembling in fear. "Uncle, please stop," she cries out, tears streaming down her face. It hurts so much." His grip tightens, and her pleas go unheard. She wishes she could escape, but she knows there is nowhere to run. The pain and shame are suffocating, and all she can do is cry in silence, her heart breaking with every moment. The days blur together, and Anna's isolation deepens. She begins to avoid looking people in the eye, as if she's afraid they might see the pain inside. Her once innocent heart has been tainted by the weight of her secret. At school, she struggles to focus, her mind constantly preoccupied with fear. Her teacher, Mrs. Alison, notices the change in Anna. The little girl who used to be so bright and engaged is now withdrawn and distant. Mrs. Alison tries to engage her in conversation, but Anna avoids eye contact, offering nothing more than a soft, frightened smile. Something is terribly wrong, and Mrs. Alison begins to suspect that the young girl needs help that goes beyond what she can offer in the classroom. Uncle Sam's manipulations only make Anna's life harder. He threatens her with cruel words, warning her that if she tells anyone, her mother will be hurt. He twists Anna's reality, leaving her feeling completely alone and trapped in a world of fear. She is afraid to leave the house, afraid to speak, afraid of what might happen if she doesn't comply. His words echo in her mind, and the shame he instills in her grows stronger every day. The sense of powerlessness she feels is overwhelming. Her world has become a place where trust and safety no longer exist. She wishes someone would just see the signs, understand the weight she carries, and help her escape. Anna begins to lose hope. The fear is all-consuming, and it feels like there's no way out. She doesn't know who to turn to, and the weight of her secret threatens to crush her. Every day feels like a battle, and every night, the fear grows stronger. She becomes a stranger to herself, no longer the carefree girl who once danced in the sunlight, but a broken child who has learned to survive by hiding her pain. But in the darkness, there's still a flicker of hope. Deep down, she believes that someone will notice the change in her, that someone will hear her silent cry for help. One day, as the class quietly worked on an assignment, Anna could no longer contain the storm raging inside her. Tears welled up in her eyes as she stared down at the paper in front of her, her hands trembling so violently that the pencil slipped from her grasp. Her classmates noticed, but it was Mrs. Alison who saw the real turmoil within Anna. Without a word, the teacher slowly approached her, placing a gentle hand on Anna's shoulder. The warmth of Mrs. Alison's touch was enough to break the dam holding Anna's pain. In that moment, everything she had been holding in came pouring out in a flood of sobs. She couldn't stop herself. The dam had burst, and Anna was no longer able to hide the suffering that had been consuming her. Mrs. Alison was taken aback by the depth of Anna's distress. She had always been a caring and observant teacher, but what she saw now left her heart aching. As Anna's cries filled the room, Mrs. Alison gently led her to a quiet corner of the classroom, away from the other students. With a comforting voice, Mrs. Alison spoke softly, asking, "Anna, what's wrong? What's hurting you?" Anna's small body shook with sobs as she tried to form words, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's Uncle Sam," she choked out, her words thick with fear. He hurts me every night. I can't make it stop." The confession broke Mrs. Alison's heart, but it was also the turning point, the moment when Anna found her voice. For the first time in a long while, Anna had spoken the truth. Mrs. Alison's mind raced with disbelief and horror. She held Anna close, offering the comfort she so desperately needed. She knew that what Anna had just said could change everything for the little girl. The thought of the abuse Anna had been enduring weighed heavily on her heart. She gently reassured Anna, you are not alone anymore. You are safe here, and we will make sure that nothing like this ever happens again." Anna, her tears still flowing, nodded faintly, but the weight of the situation seemed too much for her young heart to bear. She had kept her secret for so long, afraid of the consequences, afraid of not being believed. But now, with Mrs. Alison's support, Anna felt a flicker of hope that maybe, just maybe, there was a way out. Mrs. Alison didn't hesitate. She immediately knew what she had to do. She contacted the school counselor, and together they made the difficult decision to involve Child Protective Services. It was a decision that would change Anna's life forever, but one that was necessary for her safety. As Mrs. Alison made the call, her heart broke for the child who had been carrying this burden alone for so long. She could only imagine how much courage it had taken for Anna to finally speak out. She promised herself that she would be there for Anna every step of the way, no matter what came next. That night, as Anna lay in bed, the silence that usually filled her room was broken by the sound of footsteps. For a moment, Anna froze in terror, thinking Uncle Sam had come again. But this time, the footsteps didn't belong to him. The authorities had arrived. They came to take Uncle Sam away, to free Anna from the nightmare that had plagued her for so long. As they entered her room, Anna's heart raced. But this time, the fear was different. She wasn't scared of them, she was scared of what would happen to Uncle Sam, but she knew it was the right thing. She was finally going to be free. The moment the authorities arrived, Anna felt a strange mixture of relief and fear. The police, along with Child Protective Services, swiftly and carefully confronted Uncle Sam. As they escorted him out of the house, Anna couldn't help but feel a wave of nausea and guilt wash over her. She had never wanted things to go this far, but as she watched Uncle Sam being led away in handcuffs, she realized that this was the only way to protect herself and her mother. Beatrice, still unaware of what had truly been happening behind closed doors, was devastated when the truth came to light. The shock of realizing that someone she had trusted had betrayed her daughter left her feeling overwhelmed and broken. "How could I not have seen it?" she whispered to herself, her heart heavy with the guilt of her misplaced trust. With Uncle Sam gone, Anna's life began to slowly shift. The transition was difficult as she grappled with the emotional scars left behind by the abuse. Each day felt like an uphill battle, but with the guidance of counselors, Anna began to make progress. In therapy, she learned to express the pain she had long kept hidden. The process was slow, and some days felt impossible. But with each small victory, Anna grew stronger. She began to rebuild her trust in the world and in herself. Mrs. Alison remained by her side, visiting Anna at home and helping her through the tough moments. Anna was no longer alone in her pain. Slowly but surely, the support of the community, her family, and the people who cared about her began to heal the wounds that had once seemed insurmountable. Beatrice, too, embarked on her own emotional journey. She sought therapy and support groups, hoping to understand how she had missed the warning signs of her brother-in-law's abuse. The guilt weighed heavily on her, but through counseling, she learned that abuse often happens in ways that are difficult to detect. She also realized that blaming herself wouldn't help a knight, would only hinder their healing process. As Beatrice learned to forgive herself, she became more involved in Anna's recovery. The bond between mother and daughter grew stronger as they supported each other through their individual healing journey. As time passed, the community came together to support Anna and her family. Neighbors who had once been strangers now showed up at their door with meals, kind words, and offers to help with daily tasks. The love and care from those around them played a crucial role in Anna's healing. The trauma she had endured was not easily forgotten, but the ongoing support helped her rebuild a sense of safety and belonging. In school, Mrs. Alison continued to check in on Anna, always offering a listening ear and comforting word. Anna, once withdrawn and fearful, began to show signs of the bright, lively child she had been before the abuse. Though the scars of her past would never fully disappear, she was no longer defined by her trauma. The story ends with a powerful reminder of the importance of vigilance and community support in protecting children. Anna's journey from victim to survivor was not an easy one, but with the right help, she was able to reclaim her life. The story leaves us with a call to action, urging parents, teachers, and communities to remain aware and proactive in safeguarding children. If you see something, say something, the narrative echoes, highlighting the importance of speaking out against abuse. For Anna, the road ahead is still long, but with the love and support of those around her, she can face whatever challenges lie ahead. Her story, though heartbreaking, is a testament to the resilience of children and the power of intervention. If you've watched until the end, it shows you enjoyed the story. For more interesting stories like this, please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.